Last night at the Leonard and Bina Ellen Art Gallery reception, WWKA, Women with Kitchen Appliances, wowed the crowd with rubber-gloved dishpan hands by banging on pots, tickling cheese graters, and generally pushing a hostess of cuisine machines to their performative limit.
La galerie qui a été très active dans la programmation du congrès, ce soir était l'hôte d'une performance by a group called WWKA, Women with Kitchen Appliances.
I think the first time I saw them was in Brussels. It took me a while to understand that the musical side of it was not musical at all, but was more sort of a statement.
It was an experience in sounds, in manipulation of objects.
For example, in this performance, I think the sound that they are producing is more elaborate and interesting than the first things they did.
It was very avant-gardist.
I think I like the feminist twist to it, and they still make a strong statement, I think, on the household's behalf or the housewife's behalf.
I think all the people here really enjoyed it.
It's very inspiring for a lot of people, apparently.
Pour célébrer le 400e anniversaire de la ville de Québec en 2008, le célèbre metteur en scène et réalisateur Robert Lepage a créé Le Moulin à images, un spectacle nocturne projeté à l'extérieur sur les silos à grains du port de Québec. La discussion d'hier soir portait sur la compréhension du moulin à images. On y présentait une version abrégée du projet, avec des maquettes, une exposition d'objets reliés au projet, ainsi qu'une table ronde interdisciplinaire.
What I was curious about was what was going to be highlighted in terms of the history. And I don't think I got that, but I got something that I wasn't expected, so I'm quite satisfied.
The desire to let the building speak, as Robert Lepage puts it in one of his interviews, de laisser parler le bâtiment, reminds us of what the architectural historian Siegfried Gideon has called the excavation of anonymous history.
C'est sûr qu'au départ, c'était pas clair. C'est-à-dire qu'on ne voulait pas faire un documentaire, on ne voulait pas faire un film, on voulait que ce soit de la projection, mais on ne voulait pas que ce soit une pièce de théâtre non plus, on ne voulait pas que ce soit un parc Canada. C'était très, très difficile à définir. Puis encore aujourd'hui, c'est difficile à expliquer exactement ce que c'est. Mais on voulait que ça reste impressionniste, que ça soit une chose qui tenait du feu d'artifice, mais qui tenait aussi du livre d'art.
Personne ne parlait du contenu de l'œuvre. Comme le disait McLuhan, the medium is the message. C'est donc la technique qui intéresse Lepage. Pas en tant que véhicule particulier qui transmet de l'émotion, mais en tant qu'esthétique.
Rhetorical question number one. How could Robert have resisted the chance to transform the bungee mills into a line of tear gas canisters or rubber bullets? And related rhetorical question number two, why would the subterranean queer nightlife of Quebec likewise rate no mention?
Non pas un underground de Québec, mais une face cachée de Québec qui n'est pas montrée.
Il a fait une A-histoire. On sort de là avec aucune idée de l'histoire, avec aucun débat sur l'histoire. On sort de là bouleversé, on sort de là ému. De là, on sort de là extasié par la beauté de la lumière des silos.
Frankensteins Ghosts is an experimental project that examines the relationship between creators and their potential creations, with Dr. Frankenstein and his monster as warning sign role models.
Frankenstein's Ghosts began as a group of musicians wanting to explore a book like Frankenstein to try to extract themes to create a staged work. So we made a team that included ethicists, psychologists, dance people, video people, sound people, and we said, let's really look at this book, and found the themes that resonated for us. What ghosts are still there?
In this context, I don't just focus on sound, but how it interacts with video, with stage, with musicians, with music, with sound, with space, and how it travels, and how it relates to themes like memory and displacement.
I try to make something that just not disturbing so much the musician, but just helping the piece to get this landscaping of visuals and different ambience. And
the piece isn't a form for an exhibit of new technologies.
Yeah.
Really, what we've really tried to do is to look at the human side of the work and to see how that can be reinforced and supported by the use of technology and different types of media.
Dans le cadre du centenaire du journal Le Devoir, un débat animé sur l'état du journalisme et du reportage de nouvelles posait la question « Comment les médias pourront-ils survivre à la fureur de l'Internet et de la communication mobile ?» Le panel de journalistes était composé de Risa Levine, Amy Mitchell, Pascal Richer et Geraldine Cahill, réunis autour de l'éditeur du Devoir, Bernard Descoteaux.
Dans lequel vous avez des journaux traditionnels qui ne gagnent plus d'argent, et puis des nouveaux médias tout petits qui n'en gagnent pas encore. Et on ne sait pas trop où on va, si vous voulez. Donc, bon, est-ce qu'il faut être pessimiste pour autant? Je ne crois pas, parce que moi je pense que de toute façon, la demande d'information est une demande humaine, naturelle. Tout le monde a envie d'être informé.
There's a bit of a crisis of faith right now. Print is going out of style. Business models are, out the window, and liberty of information is being questioned.
The problem of media control is still very much present. When we look at the major outlets and what voices, what editorials are coming through, you look at a country like, the US and the role of the right-wing media and how prevalent it is in mainstream media. Look at like Italy, where the president of the country, Berlusconi, owns all of the media outlets. And, you start to get this picture. Mainstream media is not exactly rolling over tomorrow. They're very much advancing into new technologies.
Moi, j'étais très intéressée par les nouveaux médias et notamment la diffusion sur Internet. Et c'est dans ce cadre que cette dernière communication sur les mutations dans le journalisme m'ont très intéressée de savoir si dans 5 ans, 6 ans, 10 ans, 20 ans, à quoi va ressembler le journalisme sur Internet.
This noontime Big Thinking event featured internationally renowned lawyer, human rights activist, and Trudeau Fellow, Kathleen Mahoney, who gave her views on moral philosophy and how it provides a baseline from which justice can be better understood and evaluated.
Before we go any further down the road we are on, regardless of political affiliation or ideology, I believe we must reinvigorate the public conversation about what is required to live in a just society.
Today at the FOFA, Wearable Absence made the heart grow fonder by combining fashion with biosensing devices and emotional mapping technology.
There's LCD displays everywhere. There's something that we're used to. It's ubiquitous. It's all over the place. There's something really incredible about seeing it embedded flatly into a garment, seeing those garments walk around, and then seeing the interaction of messages being sent to the pieces.
I can't help but jump ahead to the future and think about my children and what they're going to be wearing and what their clothes are going to be like. And this is where we're at right now. What's it going to be like in 15, 20 years? It's nice to think of fabric and textile and fashion as a way to really connect with those that you love.
These aren't stock symbols. They're not advertising. There's something very personal and interesting and strange about seeing messages on people walking around.
We here at Concordia hope that you have enjoyed all that Congress had to offer. It's been a pleasure having you. Bon Congrès!